ninth race on the program is at 5:05 come Sunday, or a little bit later on today, depending when you're watching this broadcast. It's the Hollywood Bets Bright Future Maiden Plate, up the straight, 1,200 metres. Competitive, plenty in with chances. Let's try and talk about as many as we can. Horse number 9, Casemiro, for Paul Lafferty. Well, do yourself a favour, go onto the Gold Circle YouTube channel and go and watch that race where Purple and Green, who's owned in partnership by my colleague here on my right, and go and watch that race and go and see where Casemiro came from, and how he finished third is just, I think, testament to his ability. So he could well be way above average and blow this field away. My third and last horse to follow on the day is number 13, Northern Warrior. I'm expecting Northern Warrior to be a generous price, so that I'm certainly going to respect. But Graham, when you glance through this field, trainer Garth Puller, who's bang in form, holds a very, very strong hand with number 1, Talisman, and number 6, Final Destiny.
Indeed he does. It's a very, very tricky maiden race. Not often in maiden races do you find they're betting 9-2 the field. The horse you first mentioned, number 9, Casemiro, made an eye-catching debut, is the weak favourite at 9-2. You've got number 13, Northern Warrior, on your list of horses to watch out for. I've got number 1, Talisman. I was pleased with his debut. He finished behind Casemiro. They both have scope for improvement. So strictly on form, Casemiro should finish in front of Talisman, but Talisman will, I hope, improve as well. But you mentioned the fact that Garth Puller's got another string to his bow. That's number 6, Final Destiny, who in fact finished in front of both Talisman and Casemiro when running second to Purple and Green, and in his prior start not too far behind High Velocity. They've all got obvious chances, along with number 11, Cupid Song. Cupid Song gets blinkers, is a blinker strike for Tony Riverland. He ran second to Mexican Cat Dance last time out. That wasn't a strong race, but Mexican Cat Dance did come out and run fourth in open company after winning his maiden. 15, Trumpet Voluntary, runner-up in his last 2 starts, finished ahead of Northern Warrior last time out. Not by much, but there should be little to choose between them again. Number 5, Cauldron, is at 11-2. He ran fourth to High Velocity, finishing ahead of Final Destiny in the High Velocity run. So there's a lot of collateral form to work on here from different form lines. On the Purple and Green form line, you've got Final Destiny ahead of Casemiro, ahead of Talisman, but I think all 3 should be considered for permutations. You've got Cupid Song. Then out of the High Velocity form line, you've got Final Destiny and Cauldron close together. The Cafe Pacifica form line, you've got Northern Warrior and Trumpet Voluntary close together. And quite frankly, I think you need to include all of those horses that we've just mentioned in the final leg of the Pick 6. Often, maiden plates are easier to cut down. I'm not sure that is the case here. I think you need to include all of those runners.
Tony Riverland again, his comments on number 11, Cupid Song, the Oratorio gelding, improving, expecting a bold performance. Both his horses he's expecting big runs from. 2 questions before we wrap. Your opinion on number 4, Boardmaster. 4 lengths off on debut, but look at those excuses. Fly jumped, losing 2 lengths, and then lost a shoe in the running. I mean, in actual fact, this is an excellent run, considering those excuses. The second fastest finishing, only 4 lengths off Cafe Pacifica, although others have this horse held on the Cafe Pacifica run. But the point I'm making is that he's got tons of scope to improve.
Well, given that was his debut, and given the catalogue of excuses, I would not be surprised to see Boardmaster finishing ahead of both Northern Warrior and Trumpet Voluntary. So, well spotted. I think you also need to add number 4, Boardmaster, to that list we've given, that growing list we've given. I think it all adds up, though, Warren, is it's not a clear-cut race. Casemiro, my one concern is, you see a horse run over 1,200 metres, he finishes hard, he's eye-catching. They've kept him to 1,200 metres, which I think is right. He needs to learn about the trade. I would have thought ultimately he would prefer a bit further. But clearly he ranks right up there with one of the leading contenders, being one of the leading contenders in this race. It's a tricky contest. I think it's a good race, but I think you need to go wide.
Last question for you, Silver Celebrity number 8. We have to go wide, but this is an interesting runner, beautifully bred.
You can happily leave him out.
Happily leave him out, okay. Happily leave him out, Silver Celebrity. And last run wasn't the worst, penultimate run ran third, but it is difficult. I'm going to give you 100 Rand. 100 wins on a horse here, or how are you going to spend your 100 Rand?
I would probably box some horses in a quartet.
Okay, box a whole lot of horses in a quartet. and I'll have 100 swingers, Final Destiny and Northern Warrior. But that's a wrap. Race 9, tough race, as you can see, very, very tough. If you haven't spoken to your bank manager yet, I suggest you do, because you're going to need quite a healthy budget for race 9.